Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and today we're going to be featuring episode 18 of the series titled Overcoming Cancer and Other Obstacles. And if you haven't been following along, uh, I was diagnosed with a squamous cell carcinoma back in October of 2024, and I am taking the story of the defeat of this cancer and the ways that I'm going about it, and I'm showcasing it. And it's kind of a long and windy road. And if you're interested in learning about how I defeated this, and maybe you'll want to learn more, I can share every little tidbit along the way, and that's kind of what this is all about. Or maybe you're faced a diagnosis yourself and you're being told, like I was, that chemo and radiation were going to be required if you wanted a chance to live. And I know different, and I'm here to share that with you. So, anyways, um, this is an update, and the last time I was here, I had not heard back from my doctor, and I was hit with an $1,100 bill for the last time I visited him. And yesterday, I think it was, I received an email from the doctor's office letting me know that they've been trying to reach me. And it's strange because I answer my phone, I check and answer my emails and every other message. I'm really on top of that. I don't have a very big list of people I talk to, but if you're on that list, trust me, we will be connected. Anyhow, now I get to go back to them and figure out what's up. They're trying to get me this appointment with the radiation doctor, and frankly, I'm trying to buy a little bit more time to demonstrate that the things that I'm doing are actually working. And the one thing I know, and I'm looking at, a camera shot, even just as I'm recording this, and I'm constantly looking at this thing and feeling it, and it is changing, and I think it's gotten a little bit smaller, and it has not gotten bigger. And so these are things that demonstrate that, it's working what I'm doing. And I don't know which piece of it is working the most. I really kind of think that it's that combination of everything, giving it everything I've got in the best possible way. Now, if you notice, my ability to speak is diminished right now, and it's just because of this cannabis oil, and I will continue taking as much of it as I can handle, and I'll continue doing the best I can speaking while I'm doing it. And but again, that's part of the battle when people come to me and say, "Oh, I don't know, I can't be that high, I can't handle it." I was like, "Well, I'm doing it, and it's possible, and then you got to make those decisions for yourself." Um, Lately, in the last several days at least, I've had a few people reach out to me. Again, I'm not being public except for here in this one platform. This is the only place I'm talking about this adventure I'm on. Um, and as more and more people are finding out, these are people that I've known many, maybe for years. Um, they're generally very supportive. A lot of times people don't know what to say. You find out something pretty dramatic and major negative thing, and you don't always have an answer. You don't want to say much because you might just really put your foot in your mouth. I don't know. So many things to consider there, but I know this. Not one of my immediate family, meaning my mom and any of my sisters or brother, have reached out, and I have to think, and I not 100% sure, but I would have to think it's because they just don't know. And I think to myself, that's one of the real big life lessons I've gotten out of this is, the reality, the truth. I talk about actions being truth, and this is it. You find out the truth about relationships that you have and ones that you thought you had. And for the most part, I've been very pleasantly surprised. People that I didn't know that I was maybe as close to, or didn't really consider myself to be as close, in many cases have reached out and been amazing human beings. So, anyhow, as we're going along, I recently did an interview with Dr. David Allen, and if you haven't heard that episode, it's pretty interesting. And him and I've been talking, and I respect his opinion. And a lot of this show is, it's about pioneering. It's about not being bound by the guidelines and rules set by governments and companies. We have all opportunities at our fingertips. We have all the knowledge that's been acquired over the ages at our fingertips, and we are told to do things and not do other things. And yet, even if you follow everything, every guideline that's been issued, you're not in better shape. So when you consider that, you say, well, gee, they're willing to inject me with radiation and poison, chemotherapy, and all of these things. Um, for the greater good, which means I survive and um, the cancer dies. Okay, they're willing to take that kind of a risk, right? Well, and Doc Allen really came up with the idea, and I've taken a while to consider it because it's not something I would just jump into doing. But after thinking about it and praying on it and meditating on it and just really, considering it as is there likely going to be a good outcome, or what's the hazards? What's the risks? And he says, well, what if you were to inject the cannabis oil just under the skin and give it a chance? When you work with topicals, and I am working with several topicals, there's always the problem of penetration, getting that active ingredient to where you're trying to get it to. And then you got the blood-brain barrier involved and all these things. So it's a way that theoretically we could get this oil to go right through the skin and get to the tumor area and get to work even better, faster. Who knows? I mean, I'm also taking it as suppository. I'm taking it in my oil. I'm taking it in capsules. I'm taking it topically with this lotion and oils, all these things. So there's no shortage of it. But really, to hit that very best possible way, what if that would be to work? And so, what I'm going to be doing today, I placed an order for a couple of different needle tips because cannabis oil is really thick. And I'm going to cut it just a little bit with a little bit of ethanol and try to get it to pass through that needle. And if I can get it to the right viscosity, consistency, and I can get it to pass through, then I'm going to do a test spot on my forearm in a place that's not particularly sensitive and got a thick enough skin there. And I'm going to inject just a little bit and see if there's any kind of irritation or response. I was going to give it a couple of different tests, but I thought about it and I says, well, I got this tumor sitting right here on my neck, just below the skin, and what would go wrong if it went wrong on my arm? What's the difference? What's it going to do differently? And I don't know the answer, but I do know this. In all of history, there have been people willing to do things that haven't been done before. I don't know if this has been done before or not. I've never heard of it. Um, I'm sure somebody's probably tried it, but I don't know. I just don't know. And if people are not willing to do things that haven't been done and take a risk at doing it, then how do you ever find out? How do you ever learn? How do you ever go there? I believe all the knowledge that we've accomplished over the generations has come in no small way of people trying things that hadn't been tried before. And my commitment to overcoming this cancer is 100%. And if there's a way for there to be more than that, it would be. I'm going to beat this. I have beat this already. I just need to demonstrate it. And here we go. So The other just sort of crazy piece of this puzzle, and again, I know I'm rambling a little bit. I took an extra 25 milligrams this morning and it's hit me. So, anyways, one of the things that, um, never mind. I lost it. Well, that's the big update for the day, and I appreciate Oh, I know. In all the people that have been reaching out to me, and there's been quite a few of you, and I was talking to Dr. Allen because, of course, he had another new thing and this and that and all these other ideas. You should try this and that. And I told him, I go, what I'm doing right now is literally and figuratively, and any way you can think about it, a full-time job, not an 8-hour day job, but a full-time job. This is what I'm doing with my thoughts, with my actions, with my research, with my heart, with everything. I am putting all attention at beating this thing. At the same time, I still got to live my life and do things that need doing. So, um, and every single person has a different thing. It's so crazy. They're almost never in all the new recommendations, thoughts, prayers, even affirmations and prayers and those kinds of things. Every single one from every single person is different. And it's not even, I don't think, even if I was really, really, really good at managing my time and energy, I don't know that I could do everything that's been proposed. And I don't know that it's even the best idea. Um, I'm working with my intuition and my thoughts, and I'm trying probably everything at least once and seeing if it resonates with me. And I'm settling into a regimen that I believe is making the most good and giving me the least amount of risk. And I've been increasing my fasting. So I'm in the middle of a fast right now, and I'm doing about 36 hours this time. I'm trying to do once a week, and I'm going to be increasing up to 48 hours soon. And I really feel like that's instrumental in overcoming this. All right, thanks for putting up with my rambling. And if you haven't, some of the other episodes are a little more cohesive. And if you want to hear the story, go all the way back to episode 1. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Thank you for all your support. And if you're interested in coming on as a guest, hit me up.
This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.